Hi Flosstube, it's Lynn, the Canadian Stitcher. So I came in here this morning to start videoing and I found this on the floor. This is the third one I found on the floor now. So one of my cats is taking my floss and bringing it up here and depositing it underneath the table. And he's wrecking them. Whichever cat it is, these are getting wrecked. Welcome. Thanks for coming back. I'm going to get a few things out of the way here first because as you're going to find out, I apologize for my hair, I didn't bother this morning. I'm completely overwhelmed by mania. So let's get a few little things out of the way here. Weekly Christmas ornament, it's another Santa sack. So now I have two. And that goes in my little bucket. Whoopsie, I knocked the camera. Whoop. I'll get it. Hang in there. Oh, yep, that's my week. So last week, at the end of the week, I was working on Blue Dragon. That was my birthday start of the Heaven and Earth design. Artwork by Elena Lazareva. And I was working as usual. Started in the bottom left there. Didn't get a whole lot more done on it after I made the video. Filled in a little bit more of the brown, I guess is the rocky part of it there. So that's what I had been working on. And then I kitted up. Last video I had talked about my mania plans, and I had my 16 projects that I was planning on working on. And so after the video was over, I kitted up 13 of them. Sorry, I got itchy nose. The last two that didn't get kitted up was that the feathers, home is where we build our nest, and that the cat with the Christmas list. So those two, I was just running out of time. It just took so much time to get all the floss and fabric edges all prepped and all of that. So I thought I would do those this weekend, but I'm not going to be. So shout out this week to Andrea C, and she's from I Heart Cross Stitch. Andrea asked me a question about my skeleton keys. I showed my scissor fob display, my little display that I have, and she had a question about one of the skeleton keys. So Andrea, just send me an email to that email address I gave you and we can talk about it and get that figured out. I'll get that to you. And questions and comments. So Betty Ulen, she's always really good about commenting on videos, and she thanked me for taking the time to make videos. So I want to thank Betty and all of you for taking the time to watch the videos. And I got lots of birthday wishes. Thank you all for that also. My son is coming over tonight after he gets off work, just to have a belated birthday dinner and to watch Game of Thrones. So I PVR Game of Thrones. I watch it when it's on. I PVR it. I usually do a read about it and get everything all figured out, and then I'll watch it again. This third episode, I sat down to watch it again and I was like, I'm not bothering. If you watch Game of Thrones, you know what I'm talking about. Hey, yikes. Why? Not very good for such a high caliber show to do an episode like that. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say. So let's see. Birthday wishes. And when I had talked to my dad and my stepmom said, how old are you now? And I said 55. And she said, oh, Freedom 55. And I said, no, I'm a couple years off from that yet. I did work casual for quite a few years when the kids were young, so I do have a bit of catching up on my retirement funds to do, but it's all good. And then Angela Spriggett, she's also very good about commenting. She asked how many projects I'm going to have by the time Mania finishes. And I don't know. I'm lost. I'm completely overwhelmed. I have no idea where all my stuff is, what I'm working on, I defeated Mania wins. I am defeated on day 5. I'll show you what I did get done though, and we'll talk a bit more about that. So May 1st I was not feeling good, so I didn't do anything. I actually just tried to stay resting. My blood pressure was really, really high, and so I took my blood pressure medication and just tried to stay resting and watching trashy TV and whatever. So I actually started on the 2 Thomas Kincaid projects. Home is Where the Heart Is 1. This is that little stamped one, and obviously I just worked on it the one day there, and I got a little bit done on the tree here, and then just did the blue. There's got to be a better way of doing this. Did the blue on the shutters, and then I put that one away, and I picked up Home is Where the Heart Is 2. And this one I just worked on the shutters, or I'm not sure what that's called, that goes around the house there, and then the blue on the shutters. So this one's different than some of the other Thomas Kincaid. Usually they're very, very bright, and the color is really, really vibrant in them. And this one's a bit more dull, but that's not a bad thing. I actually like this one because it looks like maybe it's more like early evening sun, how you get that kind of muted light. So I like that one too. So that's how far I got on those 2 little ones. That was supposed to be that was May 2nd. It was supposed to be May 1st and 2nd. And then I started on the Joan Elliott designs. Dream, Hope, Believe, and Imagine. So I started on Dream. This would have been the 3rd. Got that much done. And Hope. Bit more done on that one. I like this. This was a DMC fabric. Kind of funny, it's white on the back, but it's got the blue on the front, but it kind of looks like a little bit of kind of blue sky, so that's quite pretty. That's the Believe. Oh, sorry, that's Hope. And then this morning I started on Believe, and that's how far I got. And then I realized I was defeated. Stitch Mania. I didn't think I was going to like it because I don't like just starting on and doing a couple stitches on something and switching to something else. I like progress. I like to sit down, really relax and enjoy my stitching and feel like I've really accomplished something. But I decided to do Mania because I wanted to see what I could learn from it, good and bad. But I'm just finding it too difficult. Like there's no satisfaction in stitching this morning when I sat down to stitch this and I worked on this. I wasn't enjoying it. I was already thinking, oh, I should be putting this one away, and then tomorrow I've got to pick up another one, and then I've got 4 more, and it's just not enjoyable for me. So I'm going to stop Mania, and I don't think I'll ever do it again. So what I need to do now, so I'm still working on that Christmas goose at work on my lunch break, and I did make a couple of more. So I forgot to bring in my little nail color for the week. I was going to do the nail polish of the week, but I forgot to bring it. This is just a little color from Avon. It's kind of a peach color, but I was making some needle minders yesterday, and I busted this nail. So I have a couple of different. I kind of do, it's needle minders, but it's also decoration for my magnetic board. So I did this one out of an amethyst. This was the smallest little piece of amethyst, like druzy that I had. So that was more for decor. It's not really as a needle minder. And this one is, it's called titanium druzy. So it's a clear quartz crystal, and then it's vaporized somehow. Titanium vapor is put over top of it, so it gets that. I have a couple different ones like that too. Oh, and then I did a little citrine. And I have this little clamp on here. This silly little panda, I think, was a Kinder Surprise from about, I don't know, 6 or 8 years ago, and it has been stuck on a lamp in my living room forever. And the other day it fell off for, I don't know why, it just fell off of there, so I stuck it on there. And then I use these to help hold my, these little clips to hold the thread on there so that the cats don't do what they've been doing with the stealing of my thread. And then I have the scissor fob of the week. This is a fun one. Okay, so that's the needle threader. So this is a little wizard with a crystal. And I've got some stars on there. And then I also have the little forceps, so I'll do a star one to go with that one. I wanted to talk a little bit more about these things. These are called forceps. I'm a nurse, so we used to carry these in our pockets for, oops, I dropped my bigger one. I used to carry these in my pockets anyway if I had difficult little caps and things to undo. So I started using these in my jewelry making because they're really good for holding. If I'm making a bracelet and I'm not finishing the end of it right away with a clasp or something like that, these are good for clipping onto the wire. And then let's say if I was making a necklace and I was making a feature in the center and I wasn't exactly sure where the center would be, I wouldn't put a clasp on the end. I would use these clamps instead. So I used to get these, they were quite inexpensive, from a place called Fire Mountain Gems. And if you buy them from a jewelry supply place, they're called jeweler's clamps, and they actually snap really, really tight. So if you buy them in a medical supply store, they're called Kelly clamps. And if you go into Walmart in the fishing, sporting good and fishing section, these are called fish hook removers. So they're multi-purpose little clamps. But what I use them for in the cross stitches, sometimes if the back of the thread is getting really, really heavy, and it's hard to push the needle through as I'm ending a thread off, I'll actually use these little clamps, and I'll not snap it onto the needle, but I just use these to push it through, so it's less stress on my fingers or nails or whatever. Yeah. So, what I'm going to need to do now is get all this figured out. I don't even have the pictures up of the ones that I started on. It's just not been my thing. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to tidy everything up, have a little bin separate for each project. I'm going to make a list of all my smalls, mediums, larges. I'll put the pictures up of the ones that I've started. And then I'm going to work out a new rotation for myself. And then I'm not even sure what I'm going to do now for the rest of May. I'll figure that out probably before I go to bed tonight. I usually sit down with my calendar and I like to do planning. Kind of de-stresses my mind, and I might work on it then. Working out my rotation for the rest of May, because I'm not going to keep up with Mania. That I know. So June and July, I'm going to be focusing on finishes and getting as much of some of these projects finished and gone from the rotation, because it's just too overwhelming for me. So focus on finishes on some of the smalls and the mediums, and then also making some progress on some of the bigger ones. I know I have not had the angel out yet. I did work on the Celtic, which is nearly finished. And pulling out some of the bigger ones and trying to make some good progress on those. And then also on the extra large projects is maybe trying to focus again on getting some page finish. I always like to work on a big project, the extra large, the Hades and that kind of thing, and focus on getting a big chunk of it done. So that's my plans. A Stitch in Time that me and Terry Lee were working on. That one I had planned on working one weekend per month, but now that one's going to go into the rotation with the rest of the extra larges, and it's going to be a week-long project also. I'm also, one other thing, and another thing that's making me so overwhelmed is I'm working on another project. at the same time while I'm trying to do all of this mania stuff is I'm actually setting up my stitching spot upstairs. So it's taking a bit more time than I thought it was. I thought I would just put the two-seater up there and my lamp and I'd be done. But I actually, I have quite a lot of nail polish. So I want to, I have them kind of set up on a display, which is, right now it's kind of behind where my two-seater is. My two-seater is kind of sitting out at an angle. So I want to move that out of the room. Like if I'm bringing, I feel like if I'm bringing something new in, I need to get something taken out. Otherwise it's just going to end up being too cluttered, and my goal is less clutter and nothing on the floors, right? So, so I've been setting up the stitching spot. So I got a gift card for Michael's for my birthday, and so I bought a second odd light with a magnifier. So that one's upstairs. I could not, I'm just not going to carry that big heavy, it's heavy with the base, and I don't want to have to carry it up and down the stairs. So I got the second odd light, and I have a swing arm light, and I also have a little lamp on a little table beside there. So working on that. I actually had to have an electrician come in on Friday because I had some of my lights were going on, like not consistently working in my bedroom, and I had a few, the outlets were loose. It wasn't like a faulty wiring or anything. It was just the outlets were a bit loose. So got all that done, and so now I feel better. I have a few more things plugged in there and not be so scared that there might be something going on. And then also I've been working on these little Christmas ornaments, but they haven't really been, I've kind of just been working sort of from one or two little kits. So what I'm doing is I'm kitting up, like when I got the package of the Christmas ornaments, setting it up into a separate bin container with everything that I need in it, if it's the fabric or the perforated paper or whatever, whichever it is, and setting those up. Because I think in the evenings it might be nice to just go upstairs and just work on, if I've been working on cross stitch all day and I just want to wind down a little bit and sit in the evening and just maybe make a couple little Christmas ornaments or something like that. So I've been kitting those up also. So I've been doing the mania, kitting up all the mania stuff, kitting up the Christmas stuff, and setting up a new stitchy spot. That's a lot. So I told you I had decluttered and my bedroom and bathroom. So it's not just declutter. I get rid of as much as I can, but I also organize things and separate things. And I have lots of little tubes of moisturizer, or little face masks, or stuff like that. Little things that could be used up quite easily, and then get that out of the space. So I set myself up. I did a 30-day get rid of 30 things in 30 days challenge. And it went so well that I've actually extended it into 90 now. So now I'm going to be getting rid of 90 things for my bedroom and bathroom in 90 days. That includes clothes. That includes whatever jewelry I want to get rid of. Nail polish, and not so much just throwing things out, but if they have use in them, to use them. I'll also use them and use them up. So that I've been working on. And so we had, last video, I had talked about that Gail the Clutter Fairy on YouTube. Her channel name is called The Clutter Fairy, and I had asked her if she would do one on organizing a craft room, and then I realized I hadn't actually been completely caught up in her videos, and she did one on organizing a craft room. And she's a beader, but it would be for any type of craft, or anybody can watch it, and it was so good. So it's called Your Organized Studio, Take Your Creativity to the Next Level. But one of the things that she asked is, people say, how much is too much? And so part of it was, she said, for crafters, could never have too much, right? But she was kind of talking about, I guess beading retreats or markets, or when you're going shopping, some things to consider before you go out and buy more stuff. And also some ways of deciding if you think you have too much, how it's easier to kind of weed things out. And I believe they actually has an algorithm for decluttering. So I thought that was really interesting. I've actually watched it twice, because that's what I'm working on, is getting rid of or I'm in the summer, it's going to be organizing the craft room. So I thought that was interesting. And then they're having where I work. So I work for Alberta Health Services, and through Alberta Health Services, I work at a different organization. I don't know how to say it. Anyway, they're having their awards dinner next weekend. So I offer to donate some jewelry to use as the door prizes. So I was making up a bunch of these this morning. So this is just like a little, it's a peridot, it's like a little cross shape, and then separate pair of earrings. I think I ended up doing 10 of these necklace and earring sets. So that was kind of fun. She didn't ask me, I offered. I said, do you want some stuff for door prizes? And she was very grateful for that. So this one is that Crystal AB. So when you have it against white, it looks blue, gold. And then when you put it against your skin, it changes to that real fiery kind of color. So I think I made up about 10 of these necklace and earring sets. And then for the bracelet of the week, where did I put it? So back when I was still fairly new at learning jewelry making and beading and that kind of thing. Fire Mountain Gems in the United States was my main supplier. They have just a tremendous amount of stuff, and they had beading contests. So I actually made a set that I put into their contest. So these are all Swarovski crystals. This is a double layer necklace. I don't know how to show you this. Maybe if I just go like this against my shirt. So this is a double layer necklace that I had made, and then I had made the bracelet that went with it, and this is just an extra one, and then the earrings. This is a very, very fancy one. This is not something that I would wear every day to work or anything, but sometimes if I'm going out for a nice dinner or something. And that's the earring. So I made this, I sent it to them, entered it into the contest, and I actually placed. I don't remember what place I got in the contest, but I was really proud of myself and I got a certificate. And then they sent it back to me, and I actually had to pay import fees. They charged me customs for me to get my thing back. I thought it was kind of funny, so I was like, I don't think I'm going to enter anything else into contest, because it went by the value of it, the retail value of it. So yeah, so that's the bracelet of the week, and that's all I have to talk about this week. So hopefully I'm going to spend the rest of the day just getting everything organized and figuring out where I'm at and what I'm going to continue working on for this week. Now that I've worked on a whole bunch of smalls, I might actually go to one of my Stitch in Time and work on that for the week. Yeah, so I hope you liked today's video. I know I'm all over the place, but that's the way my brain feels, and that's what mania did to me. So no more mania for me. But I learned. I learned not to do it. Hope you all have a good week. Bye.